What is going on, guys? Welcome to HomeCraft Cocktails. Cocktails you can make from the comfort of your home. My name is Briss, and we are finally back after a 3-month-long hiatus. My sincere apologies. That break was not intended by any means whatsoever. The months of March and April in particular were just very, very strenuous for me for work. I would work from 9 in the morning to like 1 to 2 in the morning on a consistent basis. So by the time I'm getting home, it was just eating and then going right to bed and doing it all over again the next day. So my apologies for not putting out any content over these past few months, but I hope you can understand. And I did get 2 promotions though in that same time span, so that is a added bonus, an added plus. But you did not come here for my life story. We came here for drinks. So with that being said, for today's video, we'll be going over 3 different 2-ingredient cocktails. So first off, we have the Godfather, which is a drink that originated in the 1970s era that utilizes Amaretto and Scotch and is named after the famous movie, The Godfather. So to make a Godfather, you'll just want to use 2 ounces of blended Scotch. The recipe technically just calls for whiskey, so you can, if you want to, use single malt Scotch and also even bourbon. Obviously, different whiskeys will give you different flavor profiles, but blended Scotch is by far the most common spirit to use for this drink. Next, you want to do a 1/4 ounce of Amaretto. And Amaretto is an Italian liqueur, hence the Godfather name of the cocktail. And it's sweet on its own, but works great in cocktails. It's made out of almonds and stone fruit pits. Next, you'll want to stir your ingredients in a mixing glass with ice for about 10 to 15 seconds. Strain it into your rocks glass and enjoy. If you just want to do it faster or are too lazy, you can also just build the drink right in your rocks glass with ice. Just stir it and just drink it. It does, sorry, I have to find my bar spoon. It does make a difference, but to most people, you won't notice this difference. So if you want to build the drink right in the glass, by all means, you can. And then we'll put a nice big block of fresh ice in our rocks glass, and then we will strain. And there you have the Godfather. And there really is no garnish that goes with it. I mean, you can, if you want to, do an orange peel or like a lemon peel. But really, as you see it right now, this is how the cocktail is normally presented. So next we have the Cape Cod, also known as the Cape Codder, which is another name for the popular drink, the vodka cranberry. It gets its name from the East Coast town in Massachusetts, which is known for growing cranberries. So first you want to start by adding a Collins glass filled with ice, as we'll be building this drink right into the glass. Then you want to do 1.5 ounces of vodka. And then you want to fill the rest of the glass up with cranberry juice. You just want to fill it up right up to the top. Lastly, you'll want to stir and then garnish with a lime wedge. And then we put in our straw, which is technically the last step. And there we have the Cape Cod. And then lastly, we have the Dark and Stormy. A close cousin to the Moscow Mule, the Dark and Stormy is composed of black or dark rum and ginger beer. The drink can be traced back to sailors enjoying rum and the stomach settling qualities of ginger while at sea. Now, this drink in particular is actually quite unique because the Dark and Stormy by name is actually trademarked by Goslings themselves. So in order to actually create a Dark and Stormy, you have to use Gosling's dark rum. You cannot use any other dark rum. At that point, you just have dark rum and ginger beer. They literally have trademarked the name of the cocktail. The company has even gone so far as to sue other companies that have tried to create the same drink while using their other brand name rums instead. So it's pretty serious business. So first off, you want to start by adding ice to your Collins glass. Then you want to add 2 ounces of your Gosling's dark rum to the glass. And like I said, technically speaking, it has to be Gosling's. If you do decide to use other black rum, it's fine. Obviously it'll be a different taste if you use a different spirit or a different brand. So then you'll want to top the rest of the glass off with Gosling's ginger beer. And for those who don't know, ginger beer in itself typically does not actually contain alcohol, but it is actually fermented, which is why it has the beer name in it. So it is think of it as like a spicier ginger ale, so to speak. And then lastly, you just want to stir, garnish with a lime wheel, put in a straw, and enjoy. And please do keep in mind that this lime wheel is completely optional. The only thing you actually need to make a dark and stormy is the rum and the ginger beer. I'm just putting the garnish on here just because I just want to make it look nice for the video. But don't feel like you have to have a lime wheel in order to create the drink. You don't. Same thing with the Cape Cod we just made as well, and most other garnishes that you see for cocktails. And there we have the dark and stormy. So there we have it, guys. We have the Godfather, the Cape Cod, and the dark and stormy. So after we've made our drinks, let's give them a taste. Okay, so, man, it might have been 2 years since the last time I've had a Godfather. It's at least been a year for sure. The Godfather was one of the easier drinks for me to make, so it was definitely one that I've made multiple times throughout the pandemic. When the pandemic was going really strong, so like mid to late 2020. You definitely get that almond taste from the Amaretto. It's like, slightly sweet. It doesn't overpower it, so it still keeps it whiskey forward, while just still having that hint of sweetness in there. Also, I'll point out that in today's video, we used a 1:8 ratio between the Amaretto to the Scotch. There are some 1:2 ratios. There's even 1:1. The sweeter you want it to be, the more Amaretto you want to use. But I like it to just have a hint of sweetness in there. I don't really want to overpower. I want the whiskey to be the main star of the show. So now we'll try the Cape Cod. Simple, honestly. I mean, that simple is definitely the first word that comes to mind. Once I had turned 21, I could just start buying my own drinks at the bar and parties and clubs and whatnot. Vodka Cranberry was always just one of my go-tos, right? I just know that it's simple, it's tried and true. Definitely, yeah, overall, I really do like the Cape Cod, also known as the Vodka Cranberry. It's, like I said, one of my go-tos, and even to this day, I'll still order it if I just need something quick and to the point. Lastly, we have our dark and stormy here. Let's give it a try. So rum and coke is another, go-to, very similar to the Vodka Cranberry or the Cape Cod as we just tried. Lots of people order rum and cokes, right? It just rolls right off the tongue. My actual preference though for ginger beer, I like to order Jameson ginger beer. And Jameson is an Irish whiskey that, I think pairs really well with ginger beer. And I don't know, it was always one of my go-tos, even more so than rum and coke. Rum and coke is more uncommon for me to order, but it tastes very good. And actually, I will say that some recipes call for a slight, like a small amount of lime juice to be added. But obviously, one, that would defeat the purpose of this video because we're trying to keep it to 2 ingredients. But 2, also, the lime juice is completely optional. It is by no means necessary to make the actual dark and stormy cocktail. But I will say, if you don't need or want to restrict yourself to just using 2 ingredients, The lime juice does add a nice little hint of citrus in there. Overall though guys, all three of these drinks are very, very good. Especially with how simple they are. Like, you can make one of these in literally like 15, 20 seconds. Like, no time at all. With that being said guys, thank you for watching this week's video, and I'll catch you next week for the next round, hopefully. Peace.